Imagine a time of knights and castles. Medieval romances often depict grand gestures of love. Knights would dedicate their victories to their ladies and would wear their colours in tournaments. These acts of chivalry were public displays of affection. One gesture, however, stands out for its quiet intimacy: kneeling. When a knight knelt before his lady, it was a sign of deep respect and devotion. He was literally lowering himself beneath her. This act acknowledged her worthiness and his commitment to her. The image of a knight kneeling before his lady has captivated hearts for centuries. It embodies the ideals of courtly love, where men showed admiration and adoration for their chosen ladies. This act of kneeling transcended mere physical action. It symbolized a deep reverence for the feminine and the power of love. Today, the tradition of kneeling, particularly in the act of proposing marriage, echoes this historical sentiment. It connects us to a time when love and respect were intertwined. The act of kneeling reminds us that true love often lies in simple, heartfelt gestures. Kneeling wasn't always about romantic love. In medieval times, people knelt to show submission to a higher authority, including kings, queens, and religious figures. Over time, this act of submission transformed into a sign of respect and honor, even in personal relationships. The transition of kneeling from a gesture of fealty to one of love is fascinating. As societies evolved, so did their expressions of love and commitment. Kneeling, once a symbol of obedience, became intertwined with the intimacy and equality developing between men and women. This evolution wasn't sudden. It happened gradually, reflecting changing social norms and understandings of love. Literature and art from different periods offer glimpses into how kneeling was perceived. From religious iconography to romantic poetry, the act of kneeling steadily became associated with love, devotion, and the sacred bond between two individuals. Today, when someone proposes for marriage on one knee, they tap into this rich history. They're not just asking for a hand in marriage, they're expressing their willingness to honor and cherish their partner, echoing centuries of tradition. While kneeling is often associated with men in courtship, it's not exclusive to them. Women in history have also knelt, often in prayer, or as a sign of deep respect for religious figures. This demonstrates the versatility of the gesture. Kneeling, in its essence, transcends gender roles. It's about recognizing the value and worth of the person before you. It's about expressing your own humility and willingness to put your loved one on a pedestal, metaphorically speaking. This act of lowering oneself, physically and metaphorically, is powerful. It speaks volumes about the depth of emotion involved. It acknowledges the significance of the moment and the gravity of the request being made. Whether it's a knight pledging his loyalty or a person proposing marriage, the act of kneeling adds a layer of vulnerability and sincerity to the interaction. It's a timeless gesture that speaks a universal language of love, respect, and commitment. Section 4. Biblical Roots. Finding parallels in scriptural references to kneeling. The significance of kneeling extends beyond medieval customs. The Bible, particularly the New Testament, is replete with instances of kneeling in prayer. People knelt before Jesus, acknowledging his divinity and seeking his guidance and mercy. These biblical accounts highlight kneeling as an act of surrender and supplication to a higher power. It's about recognizing one's own limitations and seeking wisdom, strength, or forgiveness from a divine source. The act is imbued with humility and a deep sense of reverence. Just as kneeling before God signifies spiritual surrender, kneeling before a loved one in a romantic context can be seen as a surrender of one's heart. It's a way of saying, I choose you with all my being, and I offer you my love and devotion. The parallels between biblical kneeling and its expression in love remind us that love, in its purest form, has a spiritual dimension. It connects us to something bigger than ourselves and inspires acts of selflessness, devotion, and unwavering commitment. Section 5. Modern love, timeless traditions in contemporary relationships. In today's world, traditions are constantly evolving. However, some gestures retain their power and meaning across generations. Kneeling, particularly in the context of proposals, is one such tradition that has stood the test of time. While modern love stories might not involve knights or castles, the core values of respect, devotion, and commitment remain central. Kneeling, in its simplicity, encapsulates these values. It's a physical manifestation of the emotions that underpin any strong relationship. Of course, not everyone chooses to kneel when proposing, and that's perfectly fine. Love manifests in countless ways, and what matters most is the genuine expression of affection and commitment between two individuals. However, the continued prevalence of kneeling in proposals speaks to its enduring power as a symbol. It's a tradition passed down through generations, connecting us to our ancestors and reminding us of the timeless nature of love and commitment. Section 6. Love's enduring gesture. A testament to commitment and respect. From medieval knights to modern couples, the act of kneeling has traversed centuries, carrying with it deep symbolism. It's a gesture that speaks of humility, respect, and the willingness to place one's heart in the hands of another. In a world often characterized by fleeting connections and superficial interactions, traditions like kneeling remind us of the enduring power of love and commitment. They offer a glimpse into the historical and cultural tapestry that shapes our understanding of relationships. Whether we choose to kneel or express our love in other ways, the important thing is to approach our relationships with sincerity, respect, and a willingness to be vulnerable. For in the tapestry of love, it's these threads that weave together to create something truly beautiful and enduring. The next time you witness a proposal or see an image of a knight kneeling before his lady, take a moment to appreciate the rich history and profound meaning behind this simple yet powerful gesture. It's a testament to the timeless nature of love and the enduring human desire for connection, respect, and commitment.